Thank you very much. It's a tremendous honor to be asked to give the opening remarks for the AIMI Center Symposium today. I do have one slight disclosure. I'm actually a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, which is evidenced by my paycheck. But aside from that, I do indeed serve as the Senior Associate Dean for Research. And I just want to say that it's interesting. The AIMI Center was founded in 2018. It has indeed a relatively short history, but it has already had absolutely tremendous impact. And I think I would like to speak to some of the components today that really set it apart, I think, as a model for us here at our institution and beyond, for actually how to engage in a positive, open, transparent, and collaborative way to tackle some of the issues that we face in our field, particularly with respect to the application of AI to biomedical research data. I first joined the Senior Associate Dean office in my role there in late 2019. And I was very struck by the fact at that time that the AIMI Center leadership in Dr. Langholz, and also I'm very fortunate to work with Nigam Shaw closely. He's indeed an associate dean in my group. And they reached out. And, you know, I get people reaching out frequently, maybe to find a little extra space or to maybe see about resources. But the AIMI Center leadership came to tell me about what they were doing and how they could potentially help me in my role, and what they were doing for the School of Medicine and the institution beyond. And it was striking. And we sat down, we had a wonderful conversation and made great plans. Of course, as so often is the case, those plans can be put aside, as was the case in March 2020 when we sheltered in place. It was an extraordinary event. But this was a moment too when our AIMI Center really came to the fore. Within 48 hours of sheltering in place, co-director of the AIMI Center, Nigam Shaw, was able to deliver exceptional data from our hospital setting regarding patients with COVID that we could use locally to actually start to get a handle on the virus. And we saw this role for AIMI only thrive and expand during the pandemic, helping us all, including the repositories that were formed by Curtis that were instrumental not just here at our institution, but more broadly across the country and even the globe. So we're extremely grateful to them. And it sort of underscored for us that the promise of AI, machine learning and deep learning, had really come of term at that point and was able to be applied in real time in ways that were phenomenally instrumental and impactful. But like any area, AI itself has a short history, but a long past. We are at the point where we're really starting to grapple with the sort of challenges. We've become really increasingly aware that as many entities within biomedical research that have promise, they also have their challenges. We have vast amount of data, how to access that data, how to do so when many of our data storage systems and interfaces are somewhat arcane. Human physiology is highly dynamic. It changes within the person over very short periods of time and over the lifespan. So how do we tackle those challenges? So you're very fortunate today that the AIMI Symposium has brought together so many experts in this domain to talk about these issues, privacy issues, ethical issues. You'll have a wonderful fireside chat later with Mildred Cho, who is the director of our Bioethics Center here in the School of Medicine, moderated by Russ Altman. Our keynote speaker today, Daphne Kohler, will speak to those challenges because that has been how she's invested her energies and formed her company to address these specific issues. We've brought together today here individuals who can give us their expertise and knowledge from their domains that may not be in the field of biomedical research, industry partners that are essential to the mission of the AIMI Center. We have investigators from as far afield as New York to up the road at UCSF, as well as junior investigators who are forging more innovative approaches in their own domains, like Dr. Wang, who's going to join you later this afternoon. It's a tremendous lineup, and it's a tremendous opportunity to actually not only learn, but engage in vital discussions to how we grapple with the challenges that, if we solve them, will actually lead to the revolution that is the application of AI to biomedical research and the further identification of the best ways to treat specific patients by garnering this tremendous amount of data and yielding the knowledge accordingly. But there's a page that I want to mention in your pamphlet here. It's the second page under Curtis's picture that actually talks to aspects of the AIMI Center that I think make it a superlative model and that we all should emulate. They have their core values. It's very easy to write a list of core values. It's a greater challenge, actually, to implement adhering to those core values. But under the leadership, AIMI does a superlative job. At a time when often our discourse is challenged in every domain, both within academic settings, industry settings, and beyond, at a time when people are pessimistic, and for all good reasons, the AIMI Center stands apart as really giving us an optimistic path forward. They are transparent, they engage in collaboration, they tackle the regulatory landscape very adeptly to allow us to actually interact with our industry partners. That helps all of us, including individuals in roles like myself. We are extraordinarily grateful to them for their calm, positive approach that brings so much optimism to the table and allows us to collaborate in a way that makes us feel that we can move forward and do move forward. So with that, I am going to just thank Curtis for his superlative leadership of AIMI, along with Nigam Shah, who we try to still steal a little piece of. And I wish you all a tremendously positive day here, learning, engaging, discussing, and moving the needle forward for the application of AI to biomedical research in a way that is truly revolutionary. Thank you very much.